SCP-5898 Corn Belt. Object Class Thaumiel. Formally explained. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-5898-EX is to be remotely monitored from Site-91. No additional containment procedures are necessary. Update. 3rd of January 2020. After Incident 5898-A, SCP-5898-EX is to be remotely monitored from Barn 002. Update. 13th of January 2020. Under no circumstances should Barn 002 be left unattended. Update. 30th of January 2020. Current containment procedures. SCP-5898 Prime is to be stored in Barn 003. SCP-5898 Prime is to be used to counter the spread of SCP wherever possible. Description: SCP-5898-EX is a male human. Documents found near SCP-5898-EX at the time of its discovery indicate its birth name is Ernest Whitaker, born July of 1960 in the North Kansas City Hospital. It should be noted that no copies of these documents have been located in the hospital, state, or national archives. Additionally, no relatives of SCP-5898-EX, living or dead, have been found. Investigations into SCP-5898-EX's personal life prior to its discovery in 2019 have yielded inconclusive results, although this may be due to its reclusive lifestyle as an agricultural worker. All testing conducted on SCP-5898-EX has revealed it to be physically and biologically non-anomalous, including Hume and thaumaturgic/exokinetic capability tests. It should be noted that SCP-5898-EX scored slightly higher on the baseline on the cross-dimensional residual energy test, although not high enough to warrant significant attention. However, a series of anomalous events have occurred in close proximity to SCP-5898-EX since its initial discovery. As such, SCP-5898-EX was allowed limited freedoms under close supervision of its residents until the extent of its anomalous properties could be ascertained. Following Incident 5898-B, SCP-5898-EX has been reclassified as Thaumiel. Refer to Addendum 5898.6 for further details. Addendum 5898.1 First Contact. On the 12th of August 2019, SCP-5898-EX entered the Foundation Front Company, Smith & Charles Produce, 20 miles north of Kansas City. SCP-5898-EX then briefly spoke with Agents Langston and Kaczynski, who were present at the location, before being detained and transported to Site-91. And I told him, the worst day down in 91 is better than the best day up at Produce. Welcome to Smith & Charles Produce. How can we help you? Hey, fellas. My name is Ernest Whitaker. I live maybe half an hour's drive up the road from here. Came by last week, but y'all were closed. That's, great, sir. Need help finding anything? No. Just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be busy with some particularly dangerous corn for a couple of weeks, and I suggest steering clear of my property for a little bit. I'll make note of it, sir. Oh, this is a serious matter, fellow. This corn could kill someone if I mess up. Yes, sir. Seen it happen before. Hell, I was gonna stop by the police later, see if they can set up some kind of perimeter or something. What exactly do you mean by corn? A ghostly thing, to be sure. Sure is. Seen it take down whole town in a matter of hours before. Even seen a bunch of government agents saw all Men in Black style one year when corn was especially bad. That's odd. Kaczynski motions to Langston, who begins contacting Site-91 for assistance. Anyways, just wanted to give you all a heads up. Site-91, this is Langston, over. At Produce, we have a potential security breach, requesting backup. Hang on, sir, right there for a minute. Excuse me. I'm just gonna take you around back for a few questions. Kaczynski, approaches SCP-5898-EX, who is handcuffed and escorted to a secure holding cell in the back of the structure. SCP-5898-EX complied with Agent Kaczynski's requests and is detained for 15 minutes, at which point additional agents arrive from Site-91. SCP-5898-EX is then transported to Site-91 for preliminary questioning. Agents searching the vehicle owned by SCP-5898-EX discovered several items of interest, including the birth certificate, photographs of possible relatives, and several dozen photographs, illustrations, and scientific papers of corn. Additionally, several partially damaged cobs of corn were found in the trunk. While analysis of the corn did not suggest a known cause for the damage, consumption was ruled out. Addendum 5898.2 Interview Log. SCP-5898-EX was interviewed by Site-91 staff following standard human testing protocols. As SCP-5898-EX tested non-anomalous in every test, SCP-5898-EX was placed in a standard interview room rather than containment. Interview is as follows. Interviewer, Agent Sarah Penalt. Penalt enters the interview room. SCP-5898-EX is seated with its hands folded in its lap. Hello, Mr. Whittaker, is it? That's right, ma'am. You can call me Ernest, though. Alright, Ernest. Penalt takes a seat opposite of SCP-5898-EX. Let's start from the top, shall we? Alright, have you seen anything unusual lately? Disturbing, even? Well, I lost my keys the other day. Spent the whole afternoon looking for them. Turns out I had them in my back pocket the whole time. If that's not supernatural, I don't know what is. That's not what I meant. Do you have any interest in the paranormal? No, I don't really care too much for that kind of stuff. I'll believe in Sasquatch when I see him, right? Though I am a big fan of the fiction. Makes for good movies. I'm more concerned about the corn you mentioned earlier. SCP-5898-EX shifts in his seat. I don't want to bore you with a lecture, but me and this corn have a long history. Ever since I was a boy, I've been working with the plants. My father taught me how to farm, showed me how to plant them, taught me patience, taught me not to rush them. That they'd grow better that way. Worked great until he passed away. Since then, the corn ain't been what it used to. Instead of farming the corn, sometimes it feels like it's farming me. What exactly is so special about this corn? Biggest damn nuisance on the planet. Keeps me from living a normal life. Every year I gotta come up with some new rigmarole, some new ritual to make it happy, else it dicks over. And what happens then? Well, I gotta go somewhere else. The corn always seems to follow me, though. Do you have any samples of this corn for us to look at? Not yet, no. They'll come up later in the year. Oh, and if the corn isn't dealt with by me and me alone, things tend to go south real fast. That's what happened last year anyways. What exactly happened last year? Mr. Whittaker? Ernest? They're sprouting up. I can feel it. Been gone too long already. Where? Where are they sprouting? Should be at my farm. Please, I should get going. Mr. Whittaker, I'm sending a team there to check it out now. Just please stay calm. Sorry, ma'am, but I gotta go now. SCP-5898 attempted to leave the interview room. After finding it locked, it became increasingly agitated, at which point security was called. SCP-5898-EX was then restrained and moved to a temporary holding cell. SCP-5898-EX did not provide additional useful information following its relocation. A team was dispatched from Site-91 to SCP-5898-EX's residence, a 150-acre farmhouse. The property was stretched out, but no abnormalities were detected. Several stalks of corn were found to be emerging from the ground approximately 50 meters from the property's front entrance, but testing confirmed them to be non-anomalous. SCP-5898-EX was held at Site-91 for 24 hours whilst the property was monitored After no additional abnormalities developed, SCP-5898-EX was allowed to return to its residence. Note from the Department of Containment. Due to Ernest Whitaker's knowledge of a potential anomaly, he would usually be required to undergo standard interrogation and given an appropriate amnestic before being released somewhere far away from here. However, due to his inability to provide concrete information on his situation, the Department of Containment has decided to refrain from typical protocol at this time. Mr. Whitaker will tentatively be designated as 5898-EX until an actual anomaly can be confirmed. He will be equipped with a tracking device and monitored closely via hidden cameras located in and around his residence by Site-91 staff, and allowed to undergo his normal daily routine. Should concrete evidence of an anomaly emerge, further action will be taken. Thank you for your understanding. Alfred Rigo, Site-91. Addendum 5898.3. Incident 5898-A. On the 11th of September 2019, all camera feed of SCP-5898's residents from both inside and outside were reported to have undergone technical issues. A team dispatched to investigate discovered unusually dense corn growth surrounding each camera. When questioned, SCP-5898-EX apologized for the incident, saying it took a day off. When questioned further, it claimed it wouldn't let the plant growth blindside it again. Samples collected from the corn reveal it to be non-anomalous despite the high likelihood of an anomaly being responsible for the incident. As such, a monitoring station designated Barn 001, named as such for ease of reference. Note: I know we didn't follow standard procedure on this one. If the name is an issue, let me know and I'll be happy to change it. Was constructed 100 meters away from SCP-5898-EX's residence to allow for a quicker response from agents should another incident occur, and to more closely monitor SCP-5898-EX's behavior to confirm any potential anomalies. SCP-5898-EX will be allowed to remain in its residence for the time being, as it claims all heck will break loose should it be prevented from completing its daily routine. Following the incident, SCP-5898-EX has been observed tending to its farmland for increasingly long periods of time each passing day, although it has yet to participate in overly suspicious activity. The following is a timeline of notable events in relation to SCP-5898-EX following Incident 5898-A and the subsequent construction of Barn 001. Event date: 13th of November 2019. SCP-5898-EX observed spending 48 consecutive hours outside its residence, watching and sprouting cornstalk. SCP-5898-EX occasionally made short trips into its home for food and water. After SCP-5898-EX returned to its residence, the cornstalk was analysed and found to be severely dehydrated, but otherwise normal. How the hell did this guy go for 2 days straight with nothing but some canned vegetables and sink water? Not to mention no sleep either. Notify me immediately if he does this again. Event date: 24th of November 2019. SCP-5898-EX reportedly leaving its residence and driving to a local farm and home supply store. As staff prepared to intervene, a handwritten note was discovered on the exterior of Barn 001, reading, "Be back soon, need to pick up some weed killer." Staff were instructed to observe SCP-5898-EX's behavior from a distance, but not to intervene unless necessary. SCP-5898-EX purchased 1 container of Roundup Weed and Grass Killer, Concrete Plus, before returning to its residence. For the record, we've never specified the location of Barn 001 to the subject. It's possible he could have seen one of our personnel entering or leaving the station during shift rotations, but I'm going to lean on the side of caution for now. New security measures are now in the works. Event date: 3rd of January 2020. SCP-5898-EX observed tampering with a hidden camera facing the front door of SCP-5898-EX's residence. All 4 on-duty security personnel were mobilized to halt SCP-5898-EX's behavior. SCP-5898-EX claimed to be doing so out of curiosity, saying it thought the little thing was neat. Upon returning to Barn 001, security personnel noticed severe corn growths had manifested in and around the structure. This confirms the presence of an anomaly. I'm issuing an official statement to the DOC in Site-91 for SCP-5898-EX's reclassification and containment plan revision. Additionally, I'm ordering the construction of Barn 002, as Barn 001 is unusable in its current condition. Event date: 15th of January 2020. Sharp increase in corn growth detected over the course of several days. SCP-5898-EX observed yelling hysterics at large patches of corn. In such patches, growth was observed to slow for a period of time. After several agents reported getting lost in corn mazes, I'm recommending heightened caution when leaving Barn 002. Event date: 29th of January 2020. After several days of no activity, SCP-5898-EX was observed exiting its premises wielding an improvised flamethrower, then proceeded to burn the various areas of dense corn growth before it was detained by security personnel. SCP-5898-EX was then held in Barn 002 awaiting transfer to Site-91 for violating the terms of its freedom, specifically for being in possession of a weapon without prior knowledge of security staff. SCP-5898-EX's residence was thoroughly searched following this incident. I take full responsibility for our ignorance of SCP-5898-EX's activities. Event date: 29th of January 2020. Several minutes after SCP-5898-EX was placed en route to Site-91, an abnormally large cob of corn sprouted within Barn 002, resulting in the structure's collapse. Several additional cobs of corn manifested in and around SCP-5898-EX's residence. Containment Specialist here, ordering the immediate return of SCP-5898-EX to its residence and the dispatch of burn crews to deal with the corn growth. Further instructions are being sent to all SCP-5898-EX staff. SCP-5898-EX was interviewed following the sharp increase in the anomalous activity around its residence. This interview was held in hopes of identifying a way to counteract or otherwise limit the spread of the anomalous plant growth. Due to the short time frame of the situation, the interview was held in a vehicle en route to SCP-5898-EX's residence. Mr. Whittaker, can you tell me clearly what exactly is going on with the corn?
Say again?
What's the deal with the corn? Oh, the corn. Told you it was going to get wild. Clearly, you don't have a grasp on the situation or this wouldn't have happened. My team will take it from here, Mr. Whittaker.
Don't you worry, fellas. I've got it all under control. I've figured out a way to keep the corn out for good. I'm gonna have to head out plenty soon. Corn's a bit close for my liking. But don't you worry. You'll be in good hands.
Oh? You're not going anywhere? You haven't given us a clear answer to a single one of our questions. As soon as this crisis is over, you can count on getting locked up for sure. SCP-5898-EX arrived at its residence along with a containment crew armed with standard issue flamethrowers. Although available firepower would be sufficient to control a non-anomalous plant growth, the containment crew was unable to deal significant damage to the corn due to its alarming rate of regrowth. Containment Specialist Langley delivered an emergency notice to Site-91 and additional resources were dispatched. SCP-5898-EX failed to provide useful knowledge to combat the plant growth during the incident. The following is a transcript of Incident 5898-B captured from the body-worn camera of Agent Paul Kaczynski. All personnel arrive at the residence of SCP-5898-EX and disembark the transport vehicle. The entirety of the property is overgrown with corn. Several enormous cobs of corn are visible above the fields.
Cop, standard formation. Copy. Squad up ahead.
Yeah, over by the corn. Keep a distance though.
Alright. prep flamethrowers. On your word, sir. Mr. Whitaker, anything you want to say before we light this stuff up? If you were paying any attention, fire doesn't work too well. Give me another day and I'll sort this mess out. Promise. I've had enough of this, Kaczynski. Fire away. You heard him. All units, fire. Several seconds of radio silence as containment crew engages corn growths. Damage sustained by the corn is mitigated by its anomalous regrowth. Look out. Watch our flank. Corn begins sprouting from beneath members of the containment crew. Squad, fall back. We need more space. What's happening? What's going on? Unknown, sir. I suggest you stay behind me. Langley, along with several members of the containment crew, are separated from Kaczynski by a dense wall of corn. An enormous cob of corn grows rapidly overhead, blocking out the sun. Call for backup, quickly! Can't, sir! Radio contact's lost! Screams are heard, being abruptly cut off. Brendan! Shit! Squad, regroup! SCP-5898-EX is seen on the ground clutching 2 cobs of corn. Hey Whitaker, get up, we're moving. You've had your way for far too long. You hear? Wait till you get a taste of modern farming. A high-pitched screech is heard from an unidentified source. The hell? Hey, watch out! Corn rapidly materializes around SCP-5898-EX, crushing it under its weight. Leave him, we gotta move. Kaczynski turns to run, but is tripped by corn growth and falls, landing on his forearms. Go, go, without me! Kaczynski rolls over, tearing corn growth from his body. Death by corn, eh? Not so bad. A bright light is seen emerging from underneath a mass of corn. What the? The camera is obscured by white light. When clarity is restored, corn growths around Kaczynski have subsequently reduced. Projectiles of corn are being seen launched away, the source of which is an unidentified object obscured by white light. What in God's name? The light subsides, and a John Deere S700 series combine harvester is seen materializing. The harvester activates. No driver is visible. How the hell did that? Plant matter begins to rain down from corn stalks above. Several screeches are heard as plant growth congregates around the harvester. After 8 minutes, an explosion of light is seen, and the camera feed is lost. SCP-5898-EX displayed aggressive and potentially catastrophic properties during Incident 5898-B. Things would have gone poorly if it weren't for the appearance of an additional anomaly, which spontaneously manifested during the incident and automatically began neutralizing instances of anomalously altered plant matter. The object has since been contained and designated as SCP-5898-Prime. Despite SCP-5898-Prime's efficacy in eliminating said plant life, trace amounts of similar growths have been detected across the greater Kansas City area. As such, I'm designated the anomalous corn growth as SCP. Containment procedures have been altered accordingly. As for SCP-5898-EX proper, we have found no trace of it at the location of the incident. Until SCP-5898-EX can be located, it is to be listed MIA. If it's out there, we'll find it. The following is a handwritten note found affixed to the steering wheel of SCP-5898-Prime after an examination of the object. See, I told you I got this under control. Yours truly, Ernest Whitaker. P.S. I'd take care of the corn before the damn crows show up.